TRRC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Council.
This is your second appearance, isn't it? Good. So you know how we operate. Mr. Bajo, could you kindly repeat after me? I, LAMIN KABA BAJO,
I, LAMIN KABA BAJO,
hereby affirm that I will speak the truth, that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Mr. Bajo, you have just made an affirmation, a declaration to speak the truth. It is an offense under the laws of this country to provide false or misleading information in a declaration or after having made a declaration to speak the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes.
It is also an offense to lie to the TRRC or to provide false information to the TRRC. You understand?
Yes.
Good. Mr. Bajo, you are called upon to testify about the fate of the West African migrants who were arrested in the Gambia in July of 2005. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Good. And because you have testified before, we would not ask you to provide information as to your background. All right? But could you confirm to us that sometime in 2005, you were appointed foreign minister?
Yes.
Can you recall the date?
I can't recall the date of it, but I know it was the month of October 2005.
Could you speak up a bit or speak closer to the microphone?
Yeah, it was, I can't remember the date of it now, but I know it was sometime in October 2005.
Good, thank you. In October 2005, you would confirm that the investigations of the fate of the West African migrants was taking place in the Gambia.
Yes, I learned of it, I heard of it.
And did you have any connections with that investigations?
Not at all, not at all.
But as foreign minister, would you agree that it was also your responsibility to liaise and coordinate with the Ghanaian government on this particular issue?
On the circumstances, but because when I came in, foreign ministry, the matter was already happened, and then I heard that the decision was done.
Could you take that again? I could barely hear you.
So, I mean, it may be, but what I can say is that when I was appointed, the incident had already happened, and then I was aware that investigations were on track.
Good. Mr. Bajo, we had done this in English. I had forgotten completely about the interpreters. But we've only done a few questions, so perhaps we should just take a few steps backwards and at least avail the public of the benefit of interpretation of what you're saying. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Bajo. Mr. Bajo has just made a declaration that he would speak the truth and he has been informed that it is a violation of the laws of this country to provide false information after having made an affirmation to speak the truth.
Mr. Bajo, lahiro dile ko abe to nyala for andu ya sinande nda male ko fana nyimulu wa tinyaldi Gambia banko kan tumanda tumala menna ye lahiro dile to nyala for andu bina sedando dila ena kuma soto baro fo omulu wa tinyaldi yolo faye.
Mr. Bajo, just to for the benefit of the listeners at home, could you tell us your full names again?
Mr. Bajo, puru la moyral mi banta ila nafa kan fesito ni konto fono nyene kotanke ba.
My names are LAMIN KABA BAJO.
Date and place of birth?
Iwuluda mintole and iwuluda sanjumalla.
10th of November 1964.
November karotil tal 1964 le miwuluta. Brikaba.
You have served as a government minister in the past, haven't you?
Komantono ina naketa minister ti nyimbanku kanjang fo wonde.
Yes.
Ha umuto nyalti.
And in 2005, you served as Minister for Foreign Affairs, correct?
2005 sangono ikera minister mem marle nimbantala bankol tema fo wonde.
Yes.
Ha umuto nyalti.
And which ministry did you serve in as at October 2005?
Ye ministry jumala dogo ministry jumala koto 2005 October sangono.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Wala minister bundati membe Gambia nimbantala bankol tema.
And you said you took up that position in October 2005. Until when did you serve as foreign minister?
Koyo makamo nyinta about October 2005. Yedo ko ke makamo nyingo palaso nyingo no kan minister fo wadi juma.
October 2006.
For October 2006 ntarta palaso.
And what were your responsibilities as foreign minister?
Wala men etele minister de member ni bantala bankol tema ida lon kundo duno munati.
It was oversee Gambia's foreign and diplomatic service.
Wala Gambia ni bantala bankol tema chokinolo member ni tema puruno no masata ngajube purka kunu tamandi je.
And implement the country's foreign policy.
Amin bankola sartol men keta nim bantala bankolu tema sartol ti pour kawlu tamandi.
Mike.
And that should also include managing and maintaining the relations between the Gambia and other countries around the world.
And wala ngabetara nyinkono wala nyintiko katopotoro ke aninka jubero ke Gambia ni bantala bankol temo ni temo la topotoro nyala fo.
Yes.
Ha.
And in 2005, there was an investigation regarding the fate and whereabouts of West African migrants who were alleged to have landed on Gambian soil.
2005 son kono kisikisiro keda ka long ani la alhalo be nyaadi le pour ka ko jube 2005 ni Ghanaian dingol be ango na jang na banko kanjang ila ko be la nyaabe nyaadi le.
Yes.
Ha.
What do you know about those investigations?
Ite mule longo kisikisiro nyinto.
All that I know about investigation was the feedback I received from the Minister of the Interior.
Wala kibaru men soto kabu minister bulu men marta banko kan kunyal.
The Ministry of the Interior.
Wala minister bundati men marta banko kan kunyal. Mike
comes.
Could you say that again, please?
I mean, through updates from the Ministry of the Interior.
Wala kuolu men ya lonko ikabo minister bunda la memmarta banko kan kunya alla wolu ka kibaru menu dinna nka wolle soto.
As part of your responsibilities as Minister for Foreign Affairs or Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, did you have interaction with your Ghanaian counterpart about this particular investigation?
Tumala mena minister member bantala bankol tema ila don kuntu dumo ko na be kono fo wati soto le ba ini do nyol memke da Ghanaian ol fanana karolati fo wati soto le ba ini dundal ini wol tema ba nyin kiskisiro lak fanna la ba.
Ha,
can you tell us about those interactions?
So say nyolo soto nyolo fo nyoba ini wol ye nyotema o Ghanaian ol.
I'm not hearing.
Could you speak up a bit?
Foreign minister at the time.
Watembo Ghana la minister membe ni mbantala banko lutema.
We had few casual or informal discussions about the matter.
Na kachalu dolu ke meni alonko wole kita quality mentally inta wukofa ngokuola.
Where he was expressing their desire for the investigation to be speeded up so that they can have no facts of the incident.
Abengine ye foka numpuru ukisikisiro misala nyame ya lonko kibaro membebe dendi ngokuola pro atasio kibaro lusoto ngokuwe koyama.
And in addition to the personal interaction, he also sent me a letter or two letters. I can't even exactly know he sent me a letter.
Hani amanke na la udia amulu fanal ting hakilo bakal letter killing wala letter funa soton tale me ya lonko ulbotete la karo la kananka hakilo mamuta bake dal jellom bari letter soton tamam bote la karo la kananta kan.
And have you
about the state of investigations?
Pour que ñinin karo ke kisikisiro la kuwala.
Have you ever responded?
Inane jabiro di lema.
Yes, I did.
Ha na jabile.
Do you recall when?
Hakilo ba kan o keta wadi jumal la ba.
I can't remember exactly, but I know sometime by the end of the year 2005.
Hakilo ta mutawala de wato men fangu. Bari na jabiro ka ayenne ni hakilo ni manyila 2005 sango bandula ma fangala.
I'm not sure if it is as well.
Bari wala 2006 Juna wato. Bari aluma hakilo mo butalo.
We have sent you this document dated 2nd December 2005 under the reference MEA/C/5305/ open 26-LKB brackets close. Have you seen that document?
When you kaito ki na me alon ko mo be je wala December karotili fula 2005 fo ya kaito nyingela ba.
Yeah, I saw it before, but I can't remember the date on it, but I don't have it in front of me now.
Kaito nyi ngajele num wato na akita na bari bitun hakilo malumu tan bari nyin tembe kaito nyi amantara mbalaja.
We have an unsigned copy of the document obtained from the NIA file on the death of the Ghanaians. And that is what we sent you. Did you read the document? Did you read?
I saw it.
Did it remind you of the document you wrote?
Indeed, very well.
And was this the letter you wrote?
Yes.
And this was the information you sent to the Ghanaian government, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Bajo.
Mr. Bajo.
The information before the commission is that the facts contained in your letter are a complete lie. It's a complete cook-up to cover up the unlawful killing of Ghanaians in the country, in the Gambia.
Kibaro ngamen so jang wala midi ko kibaro ne be safro kibdo kayto nyindo kula me alon ko fan yaldam anu wala midi maboro lan ron pour ka kata ko lan pour ka maboro ke nyin gana so gane dingol me alon ko ye fa jang wanda yaka.
Yes, I fully agree, 100%.
Ha, unsonta nyabe nyama.
Yes, but Mr. Bajo, you sent this letter to your counterpart in Ghana. You accept that is completely false information that was provided.
I learned the reality of the facts based on the outcome of the TRRC.
Internata tonyalu long wato men wala bring TRRC nyukulu wanyari.
Okay. From the TRRC hearings, which obviously you have listened to, you agree completely that the story you gave was completely false.
Yes.
How do you feel knowing that the letter you sent to your counterpart, who is today the president of Ghana, is completely false? It's a cock and bull story.
Yo gota nyadi le ile taro men safe ka ki do nyoyen men yalon ko saintem atelem president de Ghana banko kam umukuma kanel me yalon ko amanke to nyadi kuma kulle me yalon ko ron miral famire fan sumira ko wol ron wolle be fuduri mo le taro nyin kono.
I feel very bad, very embarrassed. And I felt deceived.
Akatanya kuti dame yalon ko akuyatanye bake akatanye maloti andu ninkumu kumaka wonu men fotante ye nenele.
But Mr. Bajo, did they really mislead you?
Bari sedo Mr. Bajo foyam toyatanya foyam re ye feeling dilaba.
Or you just allowed yourself to be used to submit false information to a sister republic friendly to this country.
Ya mera dum fanando ital mansilo di pour yi muna fayla drum pour ka kuma kan di ido nyol la me alon ko banku ni banku Ghana ni banku Gambia la ko be ñu nyame ka ki we kuma kan me alon ko amanke to nyati.
Not at all, I didn't agree with that.
Well, let us test that, Mr. Bajo. You obviously read the letter. Since you wrote the letter, you obviously know its contents.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at some of the contents of the letter. Let's look at, the paragraphs are not numbered. So it will make it a bit difficult, but I'll endeavor to read them out so that you can hear. You said here, on page 2, okay, you said following the preliminary investigations, it came to light that the group had fallen victim of unscrupulous human traffickers who had taken money from them with the promise of arranging for their transfers to Europe. Consequently, in the light of the long-standing fraternal relations between the two sister republics, the group was cautioned and released
ye bula
on humanitarian grounds.
adama ya kan
That was false, correct?
o mun soto kuma soto balode fon
Yes, lead counsel is false.
ha lead
I
counsel
won't make it. These are not my words.
kuma soto balolem
I got from the official government institution.
ñin
I was not part of the investigation. I never interviewed
Could you take that again? I think we are missing something.
o murun kam bang kadum asikem fora dollaji
You said these are not my words. Is that what you said?
I mean, they might be my words, but information are not my own. I'm not the originator of the information.
akoto nyala la kuma kan wallan bar kibaro le ditate fanan no me ya lonko wala ya kendi ate kumota wo kibaro le to wala na yo kumodi.
Who gave you that information?
ngale o kibaro dila
The Ministry of the Interior.
Budan minister bunda la me ya lonko wala marta banko kan kunyalo la.
And who in the ministry told you that?
ministry member balni member mare banko kono ko kunyalla jumale o fo e kono je
Council, I wouldn't know. I didn't have any direct interaction with anybody. When I received letter from my colleague, the ministry to the permanent secretary wrote to the Ministry of Interior update or on investigation.
Lead council nta lonnola kato nyin ko kaito nyin briana tante mantana wala jibe kato abutana ndamen wala kita minister bundati mem marata banko kan kunyalla ka kaito nyin tambindina permanent secretary bulo kono andu briwo kaito futata tante manta fananga muna fango kaito lela wala kita kuma kan wulti men fintita je wonya.
Mr. I just want to suggest to you that this letter you wrote was not written in isolation or in ignorance of an investigative report that was put together by the government on November 9, 2005. An investigation panel produced a report which must have informed the letter that you sent to the Ghanaian authorities.
Mbeni tani lako nille roye mensa fe amasa fe nin kan mira la meya lonko lombali ala waranto kalamata bali ala asafeta nin kula la meya lonko kuma la kan meya lonko kisikisiro men kera November karotil tan nin til kononto 2005 isujita wala kan report on safi.
Do you agree or you disagree?
I set my eyes on that report, but I believe so. That must have informed the letter.
Kibaro yin fo de letter yin fo de nte fo nyama mboya kan bari bitum akata nyame abe padi muru kan ko take
Ngomma report ni namana report ko jenya
abanta akani ayina mammi akani na report ni je anyala. He has never seen the report with his own eyes.
Okay, let me read out two paragraphs from your letter, one paragraph from your letter and one paragraph from the report produced by the government.
Bado sila nga sapa killing kara ila kuma kaunto ite mensa fe nga sapa killing fanan kara report o me alon ko masa funda wala findin.
I will read the report out and then I'll send it to the chairman to verify that I am reading exactly the same thing.
Ni obota lamba kila kiamano e pour asa sabatindi ko tonya mba report o nyifon le karanka.
Paragraph 15 of the report of the investigation panel. That is Exhibit 206A, Mr. Chair.
Exhibit 206.
It was dated 9 November 2005.
And the report on November 2005.
It says as follows. In paragraph 15, the investigations consider Mr. Martin Kierie's claim particularly his reference to the military man, quote unquote, dressed in bizarre manner and wearing a traditional cap, as an imaginary thought or illusion. as an imaginary thought or illusion.
Akatale ko mola hakili mira kenso wala item fango sondo moye ko menje me yalon ko asakeno kusudo balo bari sondo moye wala mira.
That every sane or objective person will see as fabrication.
Ko woto mo mondi men keta sondo go tioti niaje yaaju be balo nako nyim mukuma soto balole ti kuma kenso wala kafunyo maje.
It is prudent to note that the Gambia government managed a well-disciplined security force
Gambia Mansakunda ye bunda soto meya lonko aketa bunda sabatiri kuluri wuti
where improper dress is not tolerated.
Damen hanidum feo meya lonko among anin sarto mantanyo la gauta.
To say that a military man was wearing a traditional cap with cow horns on them is unfounded.
Kafoko sojaro sotontale meya lonko ay dum feo dum bitun bilolu ning kurungulu babala menketa dum feo kawakoti ko mo kuma soto balwonte.
That is what the report said.
Report oye wala fa.
Now let's look at what you said to the Ghana government. Mr. Chair, the letter says, as regards Mr. Martin Kierie's claim, particularly his reference to the military man, dressed in a bizarre manner and wearing a traditional cap, any sane and objective person will see this fabrication as a product of the figment of his rich imagination. Mr. Bajo, do you see that you have copied?
Mr. Bajo,
or quoted from the report of the panel? Can you see that?
Yes, lead counsel.
Lead counsel.
So, as a former civil servant, I'm sure you know how government administration works.
Could you just allow for the interpretation also?
I didn't
doubt and I didn't refute the fact that that particular thing is extracted verbatim from the report.
Mani soso ndumang hakil fula sotoje ka foko kumakango atata kibaro le to abota kibaro le kono me alonko yewle kensu ka kafu yomo.
Thank you very much.
Just me, counsel. If you can just tell me the date of Mr. Bajo's letter to Nana to the Ghana Parliament.
2nd December 2005.
Okay, and the date of this report that he's quoted, 9
November.
9 November.
Yes.
Fine, thank you.
So Mr. Bajo, you obviously must have seen this report, seeing that you have quoted it, contrary to what you suggest.
Not at
all. I've never said an eye on it. What happened was,
Aneleman kanya katu ntenya nina malo ukibaro kambari aseke mineketa nung.
When such requests are made to sister ministry,
Nini nyon kanindiro keta kabo minister bunda doto me ya lonko fanambelori afayende nimmenu benyokan.
The minister that has been written to would have replied.
Minister me ya lonko
privy to that report, they would have.
Woto minister ni membe bunda do kunna satara bota nyin kibaro kamara kalama me ya lonko ala jabiro kono.
they would have used the basis of the report to reply to our request or update on the statement.
ila jabiro nin kumu itel fanalu baju belale ka kuma ka dundije me ya lonko kibaru fololu men hotelier soton ibe la jabiro wasikeno kuma ka du bondi ko no me ya lonko ibe ole safela nan ka ki nyimbunda flanja ko enin menu be nyomoy kan Mike
Mr. Bajo, I appreciate all that.
Mr. Bajo, listen to all day.
But this is a letter sent under your hand. And there is nothing in the letter which suggests to you which suggests to anybody that you did not know what you were talking about.
Yes, maybe that's how it would happen if I was writing on behalf of government.
Mr. Bajo, are you hearing the interpretation?
Mr. Bajo,
allow for the interpretation. Yes, proceed.
And then when a sister government ministry was consulted, they are the experts at it, but they were the ones handling it. So I don't need to have the report in my hand.
Mr. Bajo, did you in fact write the response,
Mr. Bajo,
the letter to the government of Ghana? Did you write it?
Yes,
it's for sure it's written by the ministry, but you know, as ministers, we hardly seldom write letters to us. The department of
ndila minister tunde wutumo bari ninyi ku fasolu nata saferla molu bijele melu ka safero keno minister to yala melu be ko permanent secretary membe te ko to do ko la wol sikelo molu tile melu be letro nyi safela eta minister to yala.
Was this written from the foreign ministry or was it written from the Ministry of Interior?
Only later on in Safeta Kabo, Ministry member Bantala Banko, Teba, Waranko, later on in Safeta, Ministry Koramelo Marlin Banko Kunyala.
I'm not very 100% sure this is why.
Among them, friend, later on a bonus movement.
But what I know for certain, the information contained in the letter emanated from the Minister of the Interior.
Abota Minister Bundala, Menumata Banko Kankunyala.
Don't you listen to this other issue? In page 4 of the letter, its third paragraph states as follows. No, just a moment. Let me bring out another issue here. On in last paragraph of page 3. Says, in the absence of physical witnesses or forensic evidence on the murder of the 8 nationals on the 23rd day of July 2005, the facts gathered during investigations could not establish the identity of the perpetrators. That too is false. The government knew who the perpetrators were.
Yes, indeed.
the letter went on to state, on the fate of the larger group, it is presumed that they might have escaped into Senegal. That too is another lie.
And nim jama fana na ko nyinto afata je fo non ko nim mo jama la ko nyi azikeno e kanata la itara Senegal o fana mo kule to kuma kanada nan ko kuma soro balole.
Indeed, based on the evidence that was given to the TRRC.
Ha tonyala sede a jube men dita TRRC la ñil men be foto ñil men be foto be mu kuma soto balol.
And on page 4, third paragraph,
lera nani njang sabanjang
you stated as follows.
yenyine foje
Quote,
ko
it is therefore
woto ñin kamala ko
inconceivable that
kanyim krosi ko
at this point in time,
ni wato kono
the agents of the government of the Gambia
dans Gambia masakunda la do gulalo
should condone
inyana talale
talk less of perpetuate heinous xenophobic crimes against our brothers and sisters from Ghana.
Manyen ni blata la purka masiba jawo ke mbadimu la meni alonko wole moluti meni alonko bota Ghana banko kan.
Why, my dear colleague, would Gambians be so hostile to Gambians that they would start killing them now?
Munana mbadi Gambian ko bina wuli la yin tembe ka nyinyo kuja wota kake mbadi Ghana ko la molula.
Well, it's not a rhetorical question, Mr. Bajo. You can now answer this question, can't you? Seeing, having heard fully well what happened in the commission.
So
I ask you, why, my dear brother, would Gambians be so hostile to Ghanaians that they would start or they would kill them in the Gambia in 2005?
I still don't have an answer for that.
Is it not because of Yaya Jammeh's paranoia?
Faman kenyintiko Yaya Jammeh la silanya ko le molti ala jito ya.
Indeed.
Ha wala.
Indeed.
Ha wala.
So now you have the answer to your rhetorical question.
Sayanga monta yajabiro sotole kumoto me ya lonko wala kita kumalanya temberimuti.
If you were to face the Ghanaian president now, and you have the opportunity to tell him the truth about what has happened, how would you correct this rhetorical question that you have raised in your letter? What would you say to him?
Only to deeply apologize to him.
Follow, Mbabolo Saila Baba Bake.
And would you tell him that
nothing more than an apology?
At a Tambula Kula Mankabolo Sayoti.
Would you tell him that the Ghanaians were killed in the Gambia?
Indeed, of course, I would.
Ha, Tonya, Mafla, Mbole.
Would you tell him that former President Yaya Jammeh caused their execution?
Indeed, very well, I would.
Ha,
would you tell him that the government carried out a massive cover-up of their heinous crime?
Yes, I will tell him that I will now go further to express my own disappointment about the whole thing for being misled on that side of the ethnic.
Metentena na kuendia mako ko keta wala nyama adum benna ni kuya itandilala benna jikila tew itandilala mbay itandilala ko ni mukuliti me yalon ko kuya tante fo kende kele aman ken sawoti ndum kulo me yalon ko ku keja wala mem manyankela ndo be bankela en ka bayo.
Mr. Bajo, would you accept that you have not exercised due diligence in order to determine whether in fact the information you were given was correct?
Fayda san nan yin malago imam do ku tindi wada nin kamala ka sabatindi ko kibaro men dita la kibar na me yalon ko kibar to ba to nyaare ala.
With hindsight, yes, but at the time, no, I couldn't have gone otherwise.
To nyala ne ko nyin jube ko man to min wotembo nte o keno la bari akonyin ko la brim to nyana ta finti to nyala aketa wala nyama ku ke barolem mo brina tabo nyoto len ka ko lan kenema utumo len ko mona ta seria.
But Mr. Bajo, there was a file about this case at the foreign ministry, wasn't it?
Mr. Bajo, file of the jail in case of court of Mayor the ministry and Marilyn Nimbandar Banko Tema phone.
I think it should be there, but I've never started. I don't handle files, and I didn't have any place to look at.
Ha, ngamira better la jele. Kato ndebu ka file wo kaito katara wo file men ko ndika ulma adu amunta kula me ya lonko mantara nakaro la fana wala nambuke mai mantara
It appears, Mr. Bajo, that you just appended your signature to this letter without even knowing what you were doing. You were just signing a letter that was written. It is a story and details cooked up elsewhere, dished on a plate on your table, and you just signed it and dispatched it.
Amunda jinda ko Mr. Bajo ite data don ibe letter le sign ko me aron ko imalo mun be fudunga letter on nyingono letter on nyinda ro ya ko nyimbere fudunga kono ya top ya tabi mane ya nati ya lagi le tabulo kay ko ya sign imalo mbaba.
Yes, I would say I will agree with you based on the circumstances at the time.
Ambe sonne la kuma kamola amin kolo belare min yemen wo tembo abekala to momen.
Well, you have previously denied this. You have previously denied this, but from what you have just said, it seems you would agree that you are just used to send this letter and you did not know much about it.
Ko ko ibalantalan bari sign tan ya sabatan dile ko to nyalam ni letter ni ya dilala ya sign ya ki bari ibalo me yemuna fayla la don pour ye letter ni ta ya sign na ina na letter ni ki.
No, not at all. I don't agree with that. I don't know how I said that. What is starting was that.
You did not write the letter, did you?
I only read because I signed it. I wrote the draft was made for me by my permanent secretary.
But Mr. Bajo, you just accepted that the information contained in it is not within your knowledge, and you now accept that the information is false.
Sabaye information tani na ko kuma ka woni letter woni kuma ka woni be furu ngi amam fudela londo sa ya na ko fananko kuma kan so balola.
No, because what came up from the proceedings of PRRC has nearly exhibited that these are not facts, they are not true.
Même finti ta TRRC la CD andirol kono jam wala minti ko kuma kawul men foto kay toto kuma soto balol lem ye molle sita do yo ko molu fayno kay ya fewja ya dada ya safe bara man ka to nyati a to nyana ta finti TRRC la CD arol to jam.
But doesn't that make it obvious that you are just used to sign this letter when in fact you did not have any connection to the facts, you did not even know whether the facts were true?
Fo nya mange to nya de ni leader ni ya akela do ya nati kan ron puriya sign ni tumalambe na ita malo ni leader ni fon ko be furuna kono andum leader ni an atata na da munam.
I could not agree with you that I was used, or maybe if that happened, it was not to my knowledge, nobody would have abused me.
nte sonna ka foko ye muna fantilale bar na kata wala nyama fanan nte sonna nte mtafu no ko wutumo ko lulanya aniya tamandi yeme wala usabu.
Let me change the language. Let me change the words used. You were procured. You were procured to sign this letter to convey facts that were not within your knowledge.
No.
Procured doesn't mean
amunta
yes,
ye kalangitelale pour que filindi pour yenyi letter sign. Amunta feeling the way back work on.
Can agree on that what we do on that work.
Yes, this is so no
well, procuring in this instance would mean used.
Amunta ye muna fangi tela le drong puru ite lafta men na wayeke.
How do you feel, Mr. Bajo?
Ya fota nyadi le Mr. Bajo.
That 15, 16 years, is it? Yes, 16 years hence, you would now see that the government that you served so badly blindsided you to send such a horrible letter to your Ghanaian counterpart.
Lulu warando woro ko mandos masakundame alongo yedo ko ka tele koto yemuna feila ye kuma ye kirindi kuma ye de kundi kuma me alongo kuma kan tonya yata ko nyin kono ka ko nyin mabo.
I'll just repeat, I feel very bad.
Mbese la kandro ko akatanye nikuyati aninjikila teo anin between komasayo do akatawolti.
Before I let you go, Mr. Bajo, was this issue ever discussed in Parliament, in Cabinet while you were there?
Janimbe brother Mr. Bajo yeta fonyin ko nyin anana kachata alfa kafol do mem cabinet bang.
Never in my presence.
Mr. Bajo, would you accept that that government you served was quite adept, quite used to covering up its crime?
Mabo ado kono wala minti menketa korosi sela kula ani nyum ko nyingol be mendi am kanten sai.
Yes, thanks to TRRC.
Ha tonyala ala nin TRRC wala yo sabu wala ko banke.
I have no further questions for the witness. Let me ask you, do you regret your actions? Do you regret that you have signed this letter? You have sent this letter?
State Council, I will repeat that a million times.
State Council
amount of work to express my regret.
State Council saying kanale membital hanfo million yon sinya million kanani kuyani ministro yitandi me yalon ko wala ketani ko lanyati.
And Mr. Bajo, you are telling this commission that you had no knowledge at all, no scintilla of knowledge that the information contained in the letter you sent was false.
Electoral fola janne ko Mr. Bajo yen letter on menta ya sign men kita e man hani londi soto ko nyinto biringa bekela.
I can assure you that like lead council.
Ndo bambandile ma wala nyama lead council.
Could you say that? Could you say that again?
I said I fully agree with you.
Nsonta ko sontela kumola la ko ya fulu nyami nsonta la.
And I will be the last person to be knowingly used to cover up atrocities.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I have no further questions for you, and thank you for taking time off to talk to us and having waited this long. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you, Council, and thank you, Mr. Bajo, for your testimony.
Chairman, Mr. Bajo,
just one quick question. Did you ever discuss the killing of the West African migrants with President Jammeh?
fodum ñin mele sotontale ñi mo fundula ñin tiliji banko dimu men ye fa jang fo amene sotontale ni president jamme ya ko kacale ban
Yes, it has happened.
ha akatale.
What was the substance of that discussion?
Kacha ñi mun tarta kono.
That was to expedite the investigation.
Wala ñinti pour ka kisi lo ñin tariyandi.
As my Ghanaian counterpart was all the time inquiring for me.
Kaatu ñu kafuño man nimmel na do ko mulunta ñoo membe Ghana wati o wati abe ñinin karo la ñin ko la nun.
Because we've met several times in several meetings across the globe.
Kaatu na ben jamal leke falna jamalu to dinkira jamalu to ñin ko nka kacha damelu to.
Did he ever tell you what you should say to your Ghanaian counterpart, the foreign minister?
Fodum ate president jammene ne ñin foyne ite ñanta men fola ido ko mulunta ñoya me ya lonko wotumo wolem ganan ko la ministati men be ni bantala bankol tema pour mina e woje.
Yes, Chairman, only to assure him that investigations are ongoing and the result will be provided to us.
Wala ñinti ko pour ka bambandi ko kisikisirolu be kekanne adum fem fintita o kisikisirolu kono fere wo fere tije mba kibarolu kafla ñomane ka banke wala ka ditolu la.
Was the president aware of the letter or the contents of the letter that you eventually sent your Ghanaian counterpart?
Fodum president o fanan nata bo ñin kalamale kalimolu kuma kawlu melu do letoro kono ye men ki ñin do ko mununta ñoye membe Ghana wotumo fo president yo kuma kawlu ay kalamudale ba.
I'm not very sure, Mr. Chairman, but I assume who the Secretary General would have.
Among ko ma bakade chairman bari nembeñi mutala ko secretary general wayri way ko kalamolong asikeno way abondia kalama.
In order to coordinate the Gambian response to the Ghanaians, did you discuss with the Secretary General, if not with the President, the draft of the letter that you intended to send to the Foreign Minister of Ghana?
Fo ñin ko kammala pour wayri kibaro bitala Ghana le fodum ini Secretary General al melo ya kumo kacale ñotema ba wala ni president ya kumo kacale pour fahamuro si sotoje me ya lon ko wala mu kalimolti wala kuma kawluti men dawle to ko membe kila kata Ghana ko la minister ya membe ni bantala banko lutema.
No, I don't think.
Ani ma mira woketa.
So the Secretary General did not see the draft that you eventually sent, as I said.
Bitunga munta ko Secretary General mo kaiti dadari mo nyingi na talaba mem kila mane amunta Secretary General nyama mboyo kaito kan.
I'm not sure, Mr. Chairman. I don't want to lie.
Tonya amang ko Mr. Chairman man la fi ngakuma soto balofu.
And the President did not see the draft also.
Adun President fanam mango kaiti dadari mo je fanam.
No, not from me.
Hani amam bontela karola de.
Don't you find that odd? A major foreign policy issue like this, a foreign issue involving the death of over 40 foreign nationals, that remained only at the level of the foreign ministry in the Gambia, and that the President's office, the Secretary General, they did not see the response that you were sending, or were you only instructed to send the kind of response that you ended up sending to the Foreign Minister of Ghana?
Fanyin bon kefe de koti wala kawko ko me ya lonka ketanyi nyon kukumati Gambia banko ni anyom bantala banko tema dame ya lonko membitala hanfo mo tanani nyon wulu niwo kasara ta ko men kono wo kufu so yeke bitun silal jabiro men nyanta tala wo bantala banko wo wandi banko do kan men la molu fata wonya kayto men da data pour membe kila woliya satara banko la Secretary General amalo mun kulle do letoro ko wala president fam mamba kalama fo wodu manke jakali koti febal.
Sorry. You could be strange Indeed, I think it could be strange if they had not seen the letter.
Abekele kele makolti le nintonya wolu mufulo dodo malleto nyingi.
And the other thing, I was not instructed to reply.
Anu kufula nya umende. Itelu ma afkamo dinte la puka nyinjabi roke.
Sure, it was your own initiative alone.
Amunda ketete fangola fero lati idam manna miro.
Yes, because the letter was addressed to me, and I thought I was at liberty to get the facts from the relevant government ministry and reply to my colleague's letter.
Ha tunyala katu ye letter men kina ya kina ntelekan aduma natakuma ya ntefana mfeko woto nyin ko kono ko men ba kono tonya ntela kibaro men nyanta kila woto mbadunga sorry mbadunga nyin ndilo ke kuma kawulula me ya lon ko minister bunda be marta kola itele sikibaro dintela kibaro me ya lon ko sa kafunyoma mbe men kila moli pour que la lettre o jabi men lettre o kina ntekan ngakibaro wala ngakumota wul bulu wa minister bunda bulu ngi kumolu jabi wala.
But you just said that the president told you, perhaps more than once, to expedite the investigation with a view to responding to the Ghanaian inquiry.
Bari yenyu fana mfujanko sinya jama president ka fenko pour kisikisiro nyin tariyandi nyin kammala isi jabiro kensunno nyamen ido men kila nyin moli men yaran ko wala bagala.
No, Chairman, I maybe you misunderstand me.
Hani chairman aseko nakuma kama mafahamu.
When the Ghanaian colleague of mine follow up the matter with me,
biri nkafu yemembe Ghana mlo ko mun daño bra ñin ko no masata aninte tema
I raised it with the president then.
Wotembo ngakumo wulindi nim president wotema.
What his reply was that investigation would be expedited so that we can reply to Ghana. I was not doing investigation.
Atela jabiro kata munati wala nyintina kata nga kisikisiro tariyandi pour unse mbe Ghana jabila kuma kangulu menula bara manka ko ntakku fawala kisikisiro lem
ama fonto na kisira ko similar be kisikisiro kala kan man ta kisiro ko
munda kisikisiro la ko le kisikisiro tariyandi bari takku muta kisikisiro kono.
Commissioners, if Imam Jallo, you have the floor, please.
Imam Jallo, lafta nyininka rokela. Witness, I find your narration very interesting. You and all the other people who worked for Yaya Jammeh during his period just simply obeyed everything he asked you to do. You never thought for yourselves, and even at international level. I cannot understand how you can use a letter that you are not convinced about, because certainly you are not convinced about the content and the truthfulness of that letter. Why did you participate in this venture? Please explain.
Thank you very much, Imam. I agree with you. Most of us who served in Yaya Jammeh's government at one point or the other were in a way misled. Some would have done it deliberately. But as far as this matter is concerned, the letter I wrote did not come from Yaya Jammeh, neither did it come from me. The facts or what are now found to be lies were administratively or professionally obtained from a competent government line ministry.
Na kumakalo menu be faje njikitala no to mo ko mo kumato nyalleti kuma soto no lem men ya lon ko ni soto minister bunda dole fanam bulu men ya lon ko nyin ko abelari wolle bulo ko no.
And I think the report of the panel is a testimony to that.
Adunamira panelo yo kibaro mendi wuliyo ko sede andile.
Mr. Chair, may I take the witness up on that? Mr. Bajo, are you serious about what you've just said?
Mr. Bajo, ilata yin nalama yemen fo jam sign damba.
That this was professional discharge of responsibilities? Is that what you're saying?
Honey.
No, I said it was obtained from the line ministry during administrative and process of airway. That will be short information from the ministry to the property. Though even though the fact that the information were found in the site, but what we did was to consult them and the proprietor.
ñin kuma kawlu men fotaten nataje men yalon ko wollem kuma soto baloluti ndel ngaddo ko la nyale sata andum no kenya men wolam ñinti ko addo ko kisikisiro len akobe laari men bulu wala kata ministre bundati men marta banko kan ko nyalla ndel non sembe wollela no kibaro ñini wolle bulo ko no wol yekibaro le min kalimolu menu dintolla ndel fanalu jikita wollela no wolleta ka funyoma ka safe wolleta ñin wolleta ñin kuma
Mr. Bajo, you have agreed that the information you conveyed was false, correct?
Mr. Bajo, ison da ñin nala ko kibaro me yalon ko ikaye wala futande kibar la me yalon ko toñata ko fon.
Yes, very good. That's established.
You have agreed that it was a cover-up so as not to disclose the heinous conduct of the Gambia government.
Correct? Yes,
by the source of the information.
From your knowledge of the administration that you served, would such blatant cover-up have taken place without the consents and directions of Yaya Jammeh?
Impossible, no way. Nobody will try that.
So this nasty cook-up was a cook-up by Yaya Jammeh, wasn't it?
Indeed, I agree with you.
Thank you very much.
And the role of the line ministry, that's a procedural route, Mr. Minister, that the line ministry was responsible for XYZ. The line ministry supervised the investigation. Line ministry perhaps sent you the report of November 9th, 2005. And on the basis of that, you just signed a letter without questioning anything from the line ministry. How could that be?
Mr. Bajo, kibaro me yalon ko wala kataten wala kitaten minister bunda maratala abe memmaten ko la mo line ministry ngala wala minister bundati memmata banko kan kunyal wala ko be tabi ya kafunu man yaw kibaro buntu ina taw kibaro le daga me yalon ko anata sign November karoti li kolonto me yalon ko akata koti men tabita silang fo o mukulati me yalon ko ite abe nyadile.
Thank you, Chairman.
Inumbara Chairman.
At the time,
Watembo.
I have no means to verify.
Fere tembulu sila tembulu purka nyinkumo bonyoto wala ka tonya yandi wala ka jaba kese woto wo ferot.
And also at that time,
Watembo.
I didn't have the cause to doubt.
Wotuno mandali na jemensa kendi insisobi wala nga hakili fulo soto akwoto.
Because the allegations were, the actions that were done were really very serious.
Katu kolu melu keta ni wotembo iketa ku bambande mballe timani alon ko itamata ni wotumo.
I didn't expect the government to be involved in such.
Majiki nonko man sakunda be anyi ku faso wokela.
Because I cannot imagine why that would happen.
Katu mamira no munen na nyi ku faso sake.
Much more for a power.
Sako kana akota ka mabo.
Thank you.
Jonaka, you wanted the floor.
Thank
you. I will start with this question, picking up from where Chairman left. Because you've testified here before, and that was regarding the death of Koro. You were minister at that time. And it seems there were similar cover-ups, but you just told this commission that you didn't expect such cover-ups to happen. So I find that a bit contradictory.
I don't understand the question.
I will just move on with my next question. And the question is, you've extended an apology to the current president of Ghana. Would you be willing to extend similar apology to the victims and their families?
So haninka be pare rinda ba mo me alan ko dunda ko le anyin kono ni da dimbayal fo haninka be pare rinda pour ko yam fo furandi wol fana ma pour yam fe bang baro la menkel.
Indeed, Commissioner Carr, with much haste. And by extension to the Gambian people.
My final question is, if you are in a similar situation today, what would you do differently? I ask this question in line with the apology that you have extended to the government of Ghana, the victims, the Gambian people, and your expression of regret.
I believe it won't happen again, but should I be in the same position today?
Manjiki kanyo bekela alamantan kalama bar nimmi sali kamma anyon ku façon wulita bi
I will not take it for granted.
Ntenyin tala ko
those who do work by doing it with sincerity and honesty.
Pemfem betamal yemba nin ya senea nin tilimu nin tonyale tamandila.
Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you. Mr. Bajo, if you have any concluding remarks to make, please proceed to make them now.
Sai Mr. Bajo, ni kuloso to bela kacha kumfala menna isitente.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Inimbara Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Commissioner Al-Nimbara.
Thank you, Lead Counsel.
Inimbara Lead Counsel.
As difficult as it might be,
Aba akoleata ko akata ase keno nyamin.
But there's no better moment to discuss this issue.
Bari wati mantambi ni watu la purka nyin kumofo.
When the investigators called me about a week ago,
birin kisirla lu yen kumandi lokum kilin komanto.
I felt obliged
Ni ketanye nyanto tinna miro to ko.
To appear and discuss this matter.
Prince finti nganyin kumo na sata.
This and all other previous matters.
Nyin anin ku kotango lu nani alonko wala follow tambitanu.
That the TRRC has dealt with or is still handling.
ko TRRC kumolu mennu ma anin kolu mennu be ibulo kono hanibi
are a big lesson for all of us as Gambians.
ñim mu karam balete akata Gambian ko li karam bulete Gambia mu mewbe
Especially public servants.
sako man sakunda do kulalo
I wish
mbela fila nyinna
ngani mira
ko ngani hame ko
you could have taken the clock backwards.
nin si montoro murundi nun kom
I think it would have been very different for all of us.
nin wato si murundi ko ma ngalon ko abakela ku abe fatam fansila la be fatanale ko be kala nyami.
This will lead me to commending the TRRC.
Nimbe akela siloti fana ngatente na TRRC jayi
For unearthing
pour ka kuolu dolu fintindi
some of the issues that are some of the incidents that have occurred in our country,
kuolu dolu men yalon ko wolle ketal na banko kan
which some of us, even we are in high position in government,
kuolu men yalon ko hani ntelu dolu men yalon ko be place balu to man sakunda kono
would have denied of their veracity.
nda sosola minga ko nyin kala non kuolu
Therefore,
wo kammala
myself, LAMIN KABA BAJO,
ndefa LAMIN KABA BAJO
I will not hesitate
nte mininna
to extend my deepest apologies
pour kan bolo sayo fo mole ke bolo sayi
to all the victims,
ka futandi molu mamantoro lata mulu bekan
their families,
ila badinolu dimbayalu
both within the country and without the country.
kabo banko kanjang kata hanfo banko e bantala
Because
katu
one way or other,
asketa nyawnyandi nyama
we remain in the history books for serving the past government for a number of years.
abetarla tariku bukolu kono le ko ngadu ko ke man sakunda en me yalon ko wala bota jam
As I said,
ko ngafunu nyame
it's a lesson for all of us
ni mukarawoleti purumtul beye
to be very careful the way we execute our functions.
pour sen hakilotu na kuolu tambin na hakilo tambin dimbe ko kundin kala na ke hakil toti
So that history will not repeat itself.
pour tariko men kata ni nyoti wakana sayin kam koteke
And I want to thank you very once again,
koteke woto mbali numbara la
and then looking forward
andu mbejikila ko
the entrenchment of your slogan,
alla saldo men abe foka ngale men muta
in the hearts and minds of every Gambian.
pour saldo silo ay silo dum Gambia dinglu be juso kono walla isondo molu kono
Till posterity,
fojal ni faw
because we are all affected one way or the other.
katu akoye mbele ma nyaado nyama walla nyak karadola.
Thank you very much.
ala baraka
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister LAMIN KABA BAJO, for
inin
your testimony.
barabake Minister LAMIN KABA BAJO ila sede yaro kan
This brings us to the...
Mr. Chair, just a technical issue before you adjourn. The letter of 2nd December 2005, I want to put it in as Exhibit 207.
207.
No, should be 208. Should be 208.
Just going to
Yes,
remind you that
it should be 208. Yes.
208.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Fine. As I was saying, this brings us to the end of the theme on West African migrants. If there are any residuals that come up, we will take them. at that time.
Chairman ko abe mobe numbara la barbitu nyine be mfutandila ko bandulato menketa nyimo fundu tiliji banku dimulu la koti men yalon ko ye fanyum banko kan ala kobe dan najanne barbitu min misali kamma kulunata soto men yalon ko mu kuto malleti menuna melinata finti akonyin kono ifindita wato men be talale barbitu ko lanya la karola mbe dan najanne folo.
We thank all witnesses who have come before the Commission as we examine this theme.
Mbe sedolu be numbarala mbe jayila menu be nata sede yaroke nyim koko no wato membe kachakan nyim koko mala.
We will raise the highlights of this particular theme.
Nyim ko men kachata ten mbala kolu wulindila leke banke
at the beginning of our next session,
na kacha na si kotango damuta dulato,
which will be the 21st session of this commission,
membe kala nyim komisomo la si muang anin kilinjamuti,
and that would open on Monday 22nd March.
wala bedatila tenelu March karoti limuang anin fulo.
In the meantime, the Commission would work in its committees. As well as the working group on the preparation of the final report.
And we fanan kafo doku kafo menyanta kibaro nyimume be kafula nyoma kolu men be tamata TRRC jan kabirina lota wo doku bunda fanan ulfanal be kontinela ila doku lale.
So next week would be devoted to those internal activities.
Bito nyelo kunala doku betilina ko melna wala mkuo kono doku bunda nyim fankono kolu men nyanta tamala.
And we will resume, as I said, on Monday 22nd March.
Thank you
all very much, and thank you for attention. Meeting is adjourned.